This film serves as a training video on how to mount and install an inverter belonging to the Powador TL3 series. It is absolutely necessary that you read the printed operating and installation instructions. The warnings and safety instructions which are provided in the operating instructions must be complied with entirely. Please note, the Powador may only be installed by trained and qualified electricians. There are 4 steps to this installation. You can check the progress on this display. Preparation. The following is required for the installation: the inverter with wall brackets, the accompanying installation kit, the MC4 plug for the DC connection. In addition, you will need the following materials and tools: a battery-operated screwdriver with a bit for Phillips and Torx type screws, a hammer drill with 6mm drilling head, a spirit level, and a pencil to mark the drilling holes. When selecting an appropriate place for mounting, check the composition and condition of the wall and ensure good access to the unit. Please maintain the following minimum clearances around the unit: 25 centimeters between inverters mounted side by side, 70 centimeters between inverters mounted above each other, and 50 centimeters to the ground, the ceiling, cupboards, shelves, or similar. When arranging the inverter, please also ensure that the inverter displays will be clearly visible afterwards. The heat sink of the inverter can reach a temperature of up to 80 degrees Celsius or 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Please only mount the inverters on walls that are made of heat-resistant material and ensure unobstructed air circulation around the housing and through the heatsink at the rear side of the unit. Mounting. Using a spirit level, draw a horizontal line at a height of approximately 1.90 meters or 2 yards. Align the wall brackets with it and mark the drilling holes. Drill the holes and countersink the dowels. Mount the wall bracket with the accompanying screws. If necessary, depending on the composition and condition of the wall, use a different installation kit. Mount the inverter by hanging the suspension brackets on the rear side of the appliance into the wall bracket. Finally, secure the inverter by screwing the accompanying screw into the safety catch. The electrical connection. The inverter connection is established via PCB terminals in the connection area. For access to the area, please unscrew the 4 Torx screws on the front side of the blue connection cover and take the cover down. Make sure that you use only 5 core cables with sufficiently large cross-sections in order to reduce excessive line impedance between the mains distribution board and the inverter. If the voltage at the grid terminals exceeds the line voltage limit, the inverter will be switched off due to grid overvoltage. First of all, the AC lead is connected. Open the lock of the PCB terminal and insert the stripped core through the cable fitting. Connect the cores according to the labeling on the PCB terminal. Close the locks and check that all leads are connected properly and firmly. Then tighten the cable seal of the cable fitting. Afterwards, the DC cables of the PV generator are connected. Before connecting, always check that the integrated DC disconnector is switched to the off position. If necessary, attach the accompanying MC4 connector to the cables of the PV generator. Please make sure that the cables are not under load. Remove the protective caps of the DC connector on the underside of the appliance. Before you start connecting, please carefully read the instructions in the manual regarding the different wiring options of both MPP trackers. Connect the PV generator cable to the corresponding DC plug and socket connection. Any plug connectors which are not in use should be covered with protective caps. Optionally, you can earth the housing. The earthing site is in the inverter's connection area. The inverter features several communication interfaces. You can find them on the connection board in the inverter's connection area. Please follow the instructions in the manual and the information on the necessary software settings. Startup. Now the inverter is mechanically and electrically installed. You can only put the inverter into operation under daylight conditions when the solar generator is energized by following the next few steps. Place the cover over the connection box area and secure it in place using the 4 Torx screws. Connect the mains voltage to the external fuse elements. Also connect the solar generator by means of the DC disconnector. 3 LEDs on the left side of the display indicate the current status of the inverter. The upper LED flashes when the inverter is operating. The middle LED flashes as soon as the inverter is feeding in. The lower LED only flashes in the event of an operational malfunction. The inverter is operated via 6 buttons on the right side of the display. Switching on the inverter for the first time, the setup wizard is displayed. It will guide you through all necessary settings before the initial startup. In order to choose a setting, just navigate to the desired menu item by pressing the up or down arrow. To select the desired menu point, press the Enter button. The arrow on the right takes you to a further submenu. Press the Escape button to go back. Please confirm your settings with the Enter button. Congratulations! You have completed the initial configuration and your inverter can now be put into operation. You will find extra explanatory material in the inverter's comprehensive operational instruction guide.